Speak to Moses, who's a Rangers fan. How you doing? You're on Talk Sport. Hello, Moses.
Hello.
Hello, mate.
Yes, I wanted to actually make a suggestion, firstly, about what we might do to regenerate interest in our football here. And my idea was that we would have a cross-border league in light of the interest of the Team GB in the Olympics. And all the advantages that would come from that. For example, Middlesbrough fans having an away day up in Glasgow, it's much closer for them than going down to, say, Portsmouth. So it would be a great adventure in that sense. For the smaller leagues, we could have regional leagues, so teams like Accrington, instead of having gone all the way down to Torquay, would be able to come up to Glasgow. It's much closer. They save a lot of money on travelling expenses and whatnot. And I just think that the cross-border leagues would generate interest for the benefit of the whole nation. Everyone would be interested in it, and it still retains that possibility of the old England versus Scotland rivalry, but this time within club matches. So I think that would be a great idea, and one way that we could help everybody in this situation with the financial problems in the game at this time.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I think that. Do you think the financial problems for a lot of clubs will be serious, Moses? Because some people who don't think so.
Oh, no, they will be absolutely shocking. What's happening up here, Adrian, I mean, there's a kind of a political and historical element to this that hasn't been discussed very much. One of the problems that Rangers are having with regard to the hate being generated towards the club is because traditionally we're regarded as a unionist club, and in fact many of the supporters, myself included, often refer to ourselves as the quintessentially British club. As I'm sure you know just now, the SNP are having a drive for independence, and we are right in the middle of that particular road and a very easy target. Whilst I would like to see Scottish football benefit, it's very difficult not to respond with schadenfreude in anticipation of the problems that are about to come. So, for example, if somebody burgled your house, Adrian, you wouldn't turn around and have the burglar's taxi fare home, would you?
No.
But this is what we are being asked to do. And one last thing, Adrian, before you speak to me again, I would just like to nail this nonsense about who the Rangers are once and for all. The fact is, the club was formed in 1872, didn't become a company until some 27 years later. But obviously, we retain all the trophies we won before that. Nobody ever questions it. It's just a fact. If it was the case that a company changed the club, then Celtic, for example, had a change of company in 1994, I believe. So they would be able to forget all about their European Cup win. And Hibs went out of business completely from 1891 to 1892. But nobody mentions that, and nobody says that their history started at that point. The bottom line is, I don't support the new co because I didn't support the old co. I support the Rangers, and nothing has changed for me.
Moses, I get that completely. I think you're 100% right as well. I think, all those who think it is a new club, well, if it is a new club and it's not Rangers, why is the new club being punished for what the old Rangers did? And maybe they should go straight into the SPL. It just doesn't stand up. This is Glasgow Rangers. They'll retain the history. It just is another little page or a little chapter in their history. It's still a great football club, and they still play at Ibrox. They'll have the same fans as well. People have got to get used to that fact. Colin says, why should a